In the past on this channel, I made a video talking about one of my theories I have when it comes to the overall ending of the manga series Fairy Tail. A lot of people as well within the community are beginning to speculate how exactly Fairy Tail could end, because with the way the series is currently going, it seems as if Hiro might be working his way towards an ending for the series. I, for one, have a few theories in regards to how Fairy Tail could end, and today I'll be sharing one of them. Now, to start this off, this theory is a complete shot in the dark. I highly doubt anything I say in this theory will happen, but I still thought of it as a relatively interesting theory, and I thought that I'd go ahead and share it with you guys nonetheless. So this theory, for the most part, is actually centered around Lucy. In the early arcs of Fairy Tail, though, one of the most reoccurring things with her character was the fact that she actually was working on a novel, and that she wanted to become a writer in the future one day, along with being a fairy tale mage. When I initially watched the series for the first time, though, I really didn't think anything of this. But as I progressed throughout the series and I caught up with the manga, I began to question if Lucy's desire to be a writer could possibly be something more than just an aid in developing her character's personality. Hiro Mashima is absolutely notorious for adding moments of foreshadowing into the series, an example being when Mavis and Zeref actually had their encounter shortly after the Grand Magic Games arc. Towards the end of it, he basically foreshadowed the Alvarez War in its entirety. At first, it didn't exactly seem like anything big was happening, but looking back on their confrontation from where we are in the manga right now, it is very evident Hiro foreshadowed the war through the use of that confrontation. Before I reveal the bulk of my theory, I want to go and draw your attention to the name of the manga and anime series we all love so dearly, Fairy Tail. The name Fairy Tail came from Mavis's interest in fairies and her wondering if fairies actually truly have tails, but I think the name Fairy Tail is somewhat dual purpose. Honestly, it's kind of second nature for me at this point when I think of the manga name Fairy Tail to think of an actual fairy tale. You know, the genre of stories such as the Three Little Pigs. Fairy Tail kind of comes off as a fairy tale to me as well. It's centered around things such as magic, which is what some fairy tales are actually centered around. You're probably asking what any of this has to do with my theory whatsoever. Well, combining Lucy's love for writing and her desire to actually become a writer, and the commonality between the manga name Fairy Tail and the stories that fall under the genre of an actual fairy tale, I actually began to theorize about the possibility of the whole story we've been reading is all just taking place inside of a fantasy world that Lucy wrote as one of her novels within the real world. To explain this in much better detail, I think it's possible Lucy could have written a book called Fairy Tail, a book that tells about adventures with her and her friends inside a world full of magic and witchcraft, which would definitely fall under a fairy tale genre. Now, with the current way the Alvarez arc is actually going, it seems like Fairy Tail has very little to any chance of pulling through and beating the Alvarez army, along with all the remaining Spriggans, Zeref, and just to top it all off, Actinologia. Much like in my prior theory, though, I think they may actually fail to prevail in this instance and die. I think they'll get past the 12 Spriggans easily, and possibly even get past Zeref, but once they get to Actinologia, I think they're going to fall short. So in the scenario I thought of, Actinologia would kill them off, putting an end to Lucy's novel and actually transitioning them into a more present time. Within this present time, it could be revealed that the whole story just took place in Lucy's novel entitled Fairy Tail. I also think characters such as Natsu, Urza, and Grey will exist in the present time as her friends, and that Lucy will have incorporated them into her novel as some of their characters. As I said before, this theory is way out there. I have no expectations whatsoever of this happening at all, but I decided to go and share it with you guys just for the fun of it, honestly. What's the point of having a theory and not sharing it with you guys, honestly? But nevertheless, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, go ahead and show your support with a like rating, and as well, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. We are growing so quickly, and I have to thank you guys so much for it. I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.